Have you ever felt like you were trying your best, doing everything you could, yet nothing seemed to work out as planned? As if life was slowing down, holding back everything you've been striving for. In those quiet moments, you might forget this simple truth. You don't have to chase what's already meant for you. The Buddha once taught, all suffering begins with attachment. But in today's fast-paced world, we're conditioned to grip tightly, to control, to push, to achieve. We cling to success, to relationships, to expectations as if letting go means losing it all. And yet, it is often the clinging itself that blocks what we truly desire. You don't need to do more. Perhaps all you need is to soften, to loosen your grip, and allow life to unfold in its own way. When you relax, trust begins to speak. When you stop resisting, what's meant for you finally has room to arrive. This journey is an invitation to return to the stillness within a place where every answer already lives. Come with me, not to search for something outside, but to remember the peace that has always been inside you. 1. Let go. Like the sky releases the storm. The sky never clings to the storm. When the thunder fades and the winds die down, the clouds slowly disperse, and the sky, serene, untroubled, returns to its natural clarity. It holds no grudges, bears no marks of resistance. Our lives mirror this same truth. Emotional storms, failures, disappointments, unmet expectations, they all come and go. Yet we, unlike the sky, often hold on. We remember, we overanalyze, we carry resentment, and the more we grip, the heavier our hearts become. The Buddha taught, things arise and pass away, like clouds drifting across the sky. Only awareness remains. You don't need to be strong in the way the world defines strength. True strength lies in letting go, not out of weakness, but from deep trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Even if we cannot yet see the purpose, try this instead of trying to control. Just sit quietly and breathe. Let your feelings pass like rain, tapping on the roof, falling, fading, dissolving. Letting go does not mean losing. It means creating space for something new to enter. In the silence of surrender, you'll begin to notice something profound. Peace has never left you. It was merely hidden beneath all the things you refused to release. 2. Observe the mind like a still lake. Reflecting the moon, the human mind is like a lake. When disturbed, its waters become murky, its reflections distorted. Only in stillness can it mirror the moon clearly. In daily life, we rarely stop thinking. Our minds rush like waterfalls, constant, restless. Worries, plans, and fears sweep us away. Before we even notice, we lose the present moment, pulled by endless what-ifs and should-haves. But the Buddha taught, the mind is like a river, left undisturbed, its waters clear, stirred, and nothing can be seen. Instead of chasing your thoughts, try simply watching them, without judgment, without resistance. Just witness like clouds drifting, leaves falling, the moon rising. When you become the observer, rather than the reactor, you begin to see the truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the vast sky in which they pass. In that quiet witnessing, the mind purifies, not because thoughts vanish, but because they lose their power over you. And in that silent clarity, you discover the deepest freedom of all. 3. Align your energy. Like a compass finds true north, within each of us lies an inner compass, a deep stillness that quietly know what's right for us. But in the noise of daily life, we forget to listen. Instead, we get pulled in countless directions, others' expectations, comparison, the fear of falling behind. The Buddha taught, when the mind is calm, the world is calm. When the mind is chaotic, all things are in disorder. The world doesn't respond to your words. It responds to the energy you emit. When you feel anxious, you send out a frequency of lack. When you feel grateful and centered, you radiate abundance. Just like a compass naturally points north when undisturbed. When you're still within, your life realigns on its own. Ask yourself, what energy am I broadcasting today? Is it urgency or presence, trust or doubt? Every thought, every emotion is a signal you're sending into the universe. Don't try to attract what you desire through worry. Instead, become the version of yourself who already carries the energy of what you wish to receive. When your inner state is peaceful, the right people and opportunities find you without the need to chase. Align your energy before you act, because the frequency you hold is the strongest invitation you can send to life. 4. Trust the river. Even when you can't see the ocean, there are seasons in life when we must walk without seeing the path. Days slip by like mist, silent, unclear, unanswered. Yet it is in that quiet obscurity that life whispers its gentle lesson. Faith does not require evidence to be real. Have you ever seen a river stop because it can't see the ocean? It flows steadily, silently, because it knows, in some ancient way, that the sea is waiting at the end. We, too, must learn this rhythm. There will be times when outcomes are invisible, meanings are uncertain, and futures are unclear. But these are not reasons to stop. They are invitations to continue in trust. The Buddha once said, "Faith is the bridge between this moment of doubt and the peaceful shores that await." Believe not because everything is obvious, but because in stillness you can feel that something greater is at work quietly, precisely, like a seed beneath the soil, growing where no eye can see. Don't worry if you can't see the shore. Keep your heart clear like water. Take each step as the river does. One day, you'll realize the ocean was never far. It was always calling you home. 5. Be empty, like the bamboo, to let the wind pass through. The bamboo doesn't brace itself against the wind. It bends gracefully, yet never breaks. Its body is hollow, but not weak. In that emptiness, it resists nothing and holds on to nothing. The wind passes through as if it had never touched it. And what about us? We often carry too much inside old expectations, old wounds, titles, identities, the fear of being forgotten, and we call that me. The Buddha once said, "In holding on to nothing, you make space for everything." When your heart is empty, not with absence, but with openness, life has room to offer you something new. But when you are full of control, calculations, memories, nothing else can enter. A full cup cannot be filled again. A cluttered mind cannot receive peace. Let your heart be hollow, like the bamboo, not from lack, but from trust, not from apathy, but from quiet faith. The wind will come and go, and often, the things you stop gripping are the very things that were meant to stay. Emptiness is not a void, it is readiness, a sacred space where receiving begins. a place where the soul breathes freely again in a world already heavy with too much. 6. Let stillness be your thunder. This world favors noise. People believe that those who speak louder, faster, more forcefully, are the ones who lead. But the Buddha taught otherwise. He sat silent, and the world listened. True stillness is not the absence of sound, but the unwavering presence that remains steady amid all the noise. You don't need to shout to be seen. You don't need to argue to be right. Sometimes, your silence speaks so deeply that others pause to hear what you're not saying. Have you ever sat in a place so quiet that you could hear your own breath? That's more than outer silence. That's a return inward to the place where there's no more struggle, only awakened presence. The Buddha said, "Stillness is the foundation of wisdom." When the mind is undisturbed, like clear water, only then can it reflect the truth. We often feel exhausted, not from doing too much, but from being too scattered inside. So pause, not to escape, but to return. In that moment of stillness, you may hear something you've never truly heard before, the sound of your own soul. Let your stillness be thunder, not loud, but profoundly resonant in the quiet rhythm of your life. 7. Heal the inner mirror to reflect a brighter world. When a mirror is covered in dust, it can no longer reflect the world clearly. Its image becomes distorted. But the problem isn't the scenery, it's the dust left uncleaned. Our hearts are the same. When wounds remain unhealed, when biases go unexamined, the world outside seems dark. Not because it truly is, but because our light has yet to shine. The Buddha said, "You cannot walk the path until you become the path." Instead of trying to fix the world, gently turn inward and begin to heal the way you see it. Healing isn't erasing the past. It's learning not to let it cloud the present. When you speak to yourself with compassion, when you recognize your worth without needing external approval, your inner light begins to illuminate everything you touch. Wipe the dust from your inner mirror. It doesn't have to be perfect, just honest. From there, you'll begin to see a lighter, brighter world, not because it has changed, but because you have. 8. Think lightly, like a feather rests on water. Some thoughts grow so heavy that even the heart feels tired, not because they are truly large, but because we've carried them too long, too tightly. The what-ifs, the what could go wrong, the if-onlys, each invisible thread gently pulling our spirit downward. The Buddha said, "A light mind is a free mind. Like a feather resting on water, it doesn't resist, nor does it sink. It simply rests, allowing the current to carry it, yet keeping its grace intact." Our minds can be the same. We don't need to weigh ourselves down with everything that might never happen. The world doesn't ask you to carry everything on your shoulders. You are the one who decides whether to hold on or to let go. Thinking lightly doesn't mean your problems disappear. It means you no longer allow them to hold you captive. 9. Wait for the bloom, like a lotus in the mud. No one sees the lotus as it grows. It hides beneath the mud, in darkness, in stillness. It rushes nothing. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply matures quietly. Some phases in life feel just like this. You see no changes, no results, no signs of progress. But in truth, everything is blooming deep down, where the eyes cannot see. The Buddha said, "Though rooted in the mud, The lotus rises pure and untainted. You don't have to blossom every day. Some days, all you need is to remain still and faithful. That is enough. Not all silence is stagnation. Sometimes it is sacred preparation for true awakening. Don't compare your bloom to the flower beside you. Each lotus has its own season. Deep mud grows strong roots. Silent growth yields lasting blossoms. Waiting is not standing still. It is growing quietly. 10. Let action flow from inner peace, not panic. There are moments in life when everything seems to demand an immediate response. Urgency presses in. The voice that says, "Do something, anything," won't quiet. But it is in these moments that you must step back and breathe. The Buddha taught act, not when the mind is disturbed. We often mistake movement for progress, busyness for effectiveness. But when action arises from panic, from the fear of falling behind, it often leads only to deeper exhaustion, not growth. In contrast, when the mind is still, action becomes clear, just as a calm lake reflects the sky. A peaceful heart sees the path more truthfully. You don't need to rush. You need to be awake. Before each decision, ask yourself, am I reacting? Or am I truly choosing? If the action echoes fear, pause. If it arises from a quiet certainty, move forward. The most powerful actions are not the fastest, but the truest. And that truth is born only in the stillness of your being. 11. Let life happen. Like clouds, drift across the sky. Sit quietly and look up at the sky. What do you see? The clouds are always moving. They shift shape, change color, then disappear. No cloud stays forever. No moment ever repeats itself. And life is just like that. We often cling to things that are not meant to be held: emotions, thoughts, expectations, as if they were permanent. We fear change. We fear loss. And so we try to grasp. But it is the grasping that causes suffering. Everything comes only to pass. That is not loss. That is nature. The Buddha said, "Whatever is born will pass away." In knowing this, the heart finds peace. When you allow things to arise and fall without attachment, you are no longer pulled by the turbulence of life. You still love, still feel, still live, but with gentle presence, not resistance, like the sky unchanged, even as clouds come and go. It's not always easy, but you can begin small. A heavy thought, a painful emotion, an unfulfilled hope. Instead of holding on, take a breath and let it pass. No forcing, no denying, just watching. Then gently letting go. You don't need to control the flow of life. You only need to be present and trust that behind every cloud, the sky remains vast, silent, and never gone. Peace is not far. Life doesn't require you to understand everything to live in peace. Sometimes, all you need is to pause for a single breath, listen more deeply, and let go of what you've been carrying for too long. These principles you've just heard are not merely concepts to remember. They are invitations to return, moment by moment, to mindful living. Letting go isn't losing, but clearing the path. Observing isn't controlling, but understanding yourself. Acting isn't proving your worth, but expressing presence through every step. Everything you seek peace, love, wholeness is not ahead, and it's not out there. It already lives within you. In each moment, you choose to be present, to breathe, and to stop resisting life. Don't wait for the perfect time to slow down. Don't wait for the world to be quiet before learning how to be still. You can begin now, right here. If these words touched something in you, please leave a comment. Perhaps your reflection might light the way for someone else quietly searching for their way home. And if you found peace in this message, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so we may continue walking this mindful journey together, because the path of awakening is always more beautiful when walked side by side. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.